What's up guys, T-Who's here to show off Cyber-orbitals, because I made a deck profile about them, and you know, at first glance it doesn't look like it'd do a lot, but you know, I just made a video to like show off certain aspects of the deck and basically prove they're not potato tier. This is not really to show say oh my god, these are gonna top YCS, you know, they're gonna be everywhere, top tier meta and that. It's just, you know, shows they're decent and they have some nice players. So, without further ado, here we go. So in this first duel, I was like, oh, this guy got a 52 card deck and a 7 card extra deck. This doesn't really show off a lot. That's what I thought anyway. So anyway, I go for the first turn, Orbital 7 dupe. And then I go into a nice Gigant, obviously just to set up the plays for later, so I get a Gigant and go for Lilybot. See, as I was saying, this is, I was looking at this and thinking, oh, this is just not going to show anything, it's just going to be like a lame duel, because, you know, everyone's going to win against a 52 card deck with a 7 card extra, but it's probably some, you know, new player, let's say. So yeah, he goes and sets 3, then he goes and activates Swords Revealing Light, because it's got a 52 card deck, so that sort of thing's sort of expected. So then I aim for his MST, go for the middle one. Turns out to be a Call of the Haunted. Then I go for my next turn. Then I activate Gigant's effect. Just in case he has a torrential tribute, I don't want to summon anything off first. And so I grab another Lilybot from my deck. Like so. There we go. And then I summon the Lilybot, summon Orbital 7. Like this, and then I go for a Deltaros, a Stellar Knight Deltaros, because, you know, I'm thinking I can pop the Swords Revealing Light and he can't bottomless or torrential it. So he goes for Solemn, and that gets stopped. Now, for a lot of decks, you know, if they make big pushes and stuff, then you're not going to end up with, you're going to run out of steam very quickly. But, you know, I had the chance to set up, so I got 2 Lilybots, so I can just go for another Xyz play next turn. So I look at my set bluff Cyber Repair Plant, use another Lilybot. I'm like, right, it's unlikely he's going to have anything to stop me, so I'm going to go for a another Gigant, so I can recycle some Lilybots and keep the advantage. So I make another Gigant, and he bottomlesses it. So I'm like, so I just end my turn because Swords up, I can't get rid of it. He gets rid of it a turn early, I realised. When I've editing this video, he got rid of it a turn early, but it doesn't really affect the game very much. So he goes for Diankito, the Cure Master, to regain some of the life points lost by Solemn Warning. So now I go for a Cyber Dragon Core, because I draw into it. And I go search out another Repair Plant, you know, deck filling in, search power and that. And then he has a Sakuretsu Hammer, and for some reason decides to Sakuretsu my Cyber Dragon Core for no particular reason. And so that leads me to attack directly with the Gigant. But yeah, what I'm trying to show with this video is that even if your opponent has answers, the deck can still keep pushing with the advantage, because Lilybot plus Orbital 7 is just a load of advantage. It keeps grinding out, and Gigant and Ptolemy can just keep recycling and just make the deck just grind and grind and grind. So yeah, he activates a non-spell casting area, and I'm like, what's that? And then I go Lilybot. Lilybot goes and grabs a Orbital 7, obviously. Just making sure he doesn't have a Veiler. And then I go for Omega. And then overlay the Omega with the Ptolemy, and he rage quits. So yeah, that's duel 1. So I thought this isn't really good just showing its own, so I decided to record another one. And this time I don't really open any monsters. This is not really an optimal hand, and I just wanted to show that, you know, just because this deck doesn't open optimally doesn't mean you automatically lose. Like, you know, some decks, like if you have like a Quasar Larval deck, if you don't open Rekindling plus Molten Conduction Field, you're pretty much screwed. So anyway, I end up with like 3 back. He goes first, sets 3, so I respond with setting 3. Then he estimates MSTs my MST, which is why I didn't blind MST. Because things like that can happen. You know, that's not really brilliant. So yeah, he goes for his turn. Turns out he's playing Constellars, so he goes for the first turn Pollux, uses Pollux effect, grabs the Sombre, so I'm like, Torrential Tribute, and get rid of that. So I'm at +1 now. I draw for turn, I draw Foolish, so I send Core to the graveyard, because TT is the best. Yeah, I send Core to the graveyard, because then I can activate the repair plan that's in my hand, because it requires a Cyber Dragon in the graveyard. Plus Core gets a graveyard effect, like if my opponent controls monster, I can just special summon a Cyber Dragon from my deck, so setting up in case I need it later. So he probably thinks it's Cyber Dragon OTK, and I'm like, nah, it's not what you think, don't worry. So then I go for the Cyber Repair plan, grab an Orbital 7, and then I normal summon the Orbital 7. Then he chain destructions, and I'm like, I don't want to get rid of all the ones in my deck, so I'm like, why tap? Chain destruction, not really brilliant because it doesn't get rid of the one on the field. And then he Fiend's Change for some bizarre reason. Probably doesn't want me to get like a Galaxy-sized Photon Dragon from my hand, so I just go for the Machine Dupe. And special summon 2 Orbitals. He's like, oh, because he knows now he's just wasted a Fiend's Chain on nothing. And then I go for the Gear Gigant, because Gear Gigant searches Lilybot. Lilybot lets me get my players off later. And like that. And I just attack directly for 2,300. I'm still at +2, so that's kind of nice. And then my turn, he draws for turn. Turns out he had a Rasselhag in his hand. Or Rasselhag or something. Rasselhag. So then he tributes it off to bring back the Sombre. Sombre banishes the Rasselhag to bring back the Pollux and normal summon it. Which, you know, is a nice play for him. And then he goes into Constellar Omega. Like this. And so yeah, the purpose of this is to show that you don't need an optimal hand to show, well, for the deck to work properly. You just need to just settle into back row or whatever, just make sure you just keep playing through. So he's going to attack over my Gear Gigant. I'm going to take 100 damage, and my Gear Gigant goes, no! Sending that to the grave, I take 100. Then he sets a back row. I draw for turn. I draw a Core, so I can go for plays later if I need to. And he's like, oh, I've got to go now. Okay. So yeah, that wasn't really brilliant either. So I try for a third time, and I go against a Ancient Gear player. Now, there's nothing wrong with Ancient Gears, but this is... I put this up just to show the interactions between Orbital 7 and Cyber Dragon, to show that there is an actual... I'm not just mashing together 2 random things, there is actually a nice play between them. So I have a really, really amazing hand. This is like ultimate sack hand. So I send a Core with the Foolish Burial. I activate the Repair Plant to search out an Orbital 7. I then use Core's effect from the graveyard to special summon a Dry from my deck, because extra level 4 machines. So extra machines material, which sort of makes the cost, well, makes the Foolish Burial a 1/4 rather than the -1. And then I go for the Machine Duplication. Machine Duplication in this deck is just a massive, like, explosion card. You know, you can just make massive plays for days, and if you haven't got a response to it, you pretty much set up for you know, the whole game, because you know you can make Gear Gigant, go for Lilybot. Lilybot makes the plays for days later because of like more Gear Gigants and Ptolemies and such. So anyway, I go for a Gear Gigant, search out Lilybot, standard play. I should have really gone for Omega first in case he had a torrential tribute, but I figured if he had a torrential tribute, you'd have used it already. So then I go for Omega anyway, because then I can go for Ptolemy next turn and attack without fear of Mirror Force wrecking my cookies. And if needs be, I can just use Ptolemies for recycling after main phase 2. So he takes a lot of damage. And then I go for the main phase 2 Ptolemy, if I can find it, it's there. And I end my turn. And he draws, and he doesn't really have an answer, and he knows that I have the Lilybot in hand, so I can just make an Xyz, and he just scoops. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please like, favourite, comment, and subscribe.